Imagine you're in the middle of cooking dinner or working on a project, and suddenly the lights go out. For many South Africans, this is a familiar experience, one that's happening all too often. Despite the government's efforts to improve the power supply, blackouts are still a significant problem in the country, affecting not just homes but businesses and the economy as well. So why are blackouts still crippling South Africa? Even with the blackouts they've experienced since 2008, these longer outages have really been a challenge to handle. Eskom Holdings, the state-owned utility supplying over 90% of South Africa's electricity, is struggling to meet the demand due to outdated and poorly maintained power plants. With the upcoming 2024 election, putting the governing party at risk of losing its majority, President Cyril Ramaphosa has declared a nationwide state of disaster to address the situation. So how did South Africa get into this situation? South Africa's power crisis began in the 1980s, when the country committed to building power plants that were not needed. After the end of apartheid in 1994, there was a sudden increase in demand for electricity, but the country's power company, Eskom, was not prepared to meet it. Over the years, Eskom suffered from erratic government decision-making, political interference, and a lack of capacity. This led to regular power outages, which have affected various services like water, food safety, and healthcare. The frequent blackouts have impacted the business confidence in the country, where the primary industries, such as mining, require reliable access to electricity. South Africa's reliance on coal for 80% of its power has also had wider environmental implications, as coal is the dirtiest fossil fuel. The 26th Colombian Pesos Conference in Glasgow in 2021 saw various countries, including the US, UK, and the EU, offer funding to support South Africa's transition to cleaner sources of energy. The government has made a bold move by pledging to absorb two-thirds of Eskom's massive R396 billion debt, which amounts to approximately $22.3 billion. This shows a strong commitment to improving the country's electricity supply and ensuring that South Africans have access to reliable and sustainable energy. In addition to this, the government has also scrapped licensing requirements for companies looking to build their own power plants, which is a major shift in policy. This opens the door for private investment and innovation in the energy sector, and companies will now be able to sell their surplus output back to the grid. Despite these positive developments, there is still a challenge that the government is facing. The African National Congress, the governing party, is wary of disrupting the coal industry, which is a major employer in the country, with 90,000 people working in mines that feed Eskom's coal-fired power plants. Mine workers are also a key voting constituency, so the government is in a difficult position as it tries to find a balance between supporting the coal industry and transitioning towards cleaner energy sources. In conclusion, President Ramaphosa has taken a step in the right direction by announcing his intention to appoint a new minister in his office, who will focus solely on bolstering the electricity supply. This shows a commitment to addressing the challenges and ensuring that South Africa has a sustainable and reliable energy future.